We are live on Masti AVI right now. हमारा चल रहा है cooking show which is called Cooking Comes Alive, the only show of its kind across Southeast Asia, जहाँ पर रेडियो स्टूडियो से लाइव हम किचन के अंदर घुसते हैं और लाइव खाना बनाते हैं।
पहला अगर आपका स्वागत करता हूँ सिंगापुर रेडियो मस्ती 24/7 लाइव की वो महफिल जिसे आप थ्रोबैक थर्सडे कहते हैं।
रेडियो मस्ती 24/7 पर आप हमें दिल की आंखों से देखते हैं, लेकिन मस्ती एवीआई पर हम भी आपको देखते हैं और छेड़ते हैं। Best of audio and visual entertainment, games, star interviews, contests, full on Masti.
Masti AVI.
Masti AVI.
Masti AVI.
Masti AVI.
Follow us on Radio Masti 24/7 Live Singapore Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated. Masti AVI, meaningful entertainment at your fingertips. Brought to you exclusively by Radio Masti 24/7.
Hi everyone, and yes, happy Women's Day to all. It's International Women's Day today and it is the 8th of March. हर साल की तरह आज के दिन भी ये दिन मनाया जा रहा है, and of course I am honored to be here presenting this very special show to you. So Masti AVI की तरफ से and of course on behalf of Masti Media Network, I do want to welcome each one of you, and this is a very special show. Now in case you guys are thinking आज सुबह से why is every woman behaving like this? Well, it's called Break the Bias, which is the theme for this year's International Women's Day. क्या होता है Women's Day? क्यों मनाया जाता है Women's Day? आखिर किस लिए औरतों को इतनी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस दी जाती है आज के दिन में? आई एम श्योर अ लॉट ऑफ यू गाइज आर थिंकिंग कि भाई मेंस डे तो बड़ी आराम से निकल जाता है. व्हाई डू वुमेन नीड दिस स्पेशल अटेंशन एंड दिस एक्स्ट्रा hoo-ha around this day, right? बताएंगे आपको सब कुछ बताएंगे in case you guys are still questioning the existence of this very important day, not only for women but for mankind. Then of course I have the answers for you, and when I say I don't mean just myself, I mean my very special guest, जी हाँ, जो आज के दिन में पहली बार हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म पर आ रही हैं, and that is a name that you've been watching, you've been hearing, you've been listening the name for a longest time. Well, hi Dev Soma, मैं कोई वंडर वुमन नहीं हूँ, I promise. I'm just very ordinary, but every woman who is ordinary has a lot behind her. I'm sure you would agree. Hello Ruchika, and of course hi, happy Women's Day each one of you, and hello, thank you so much Sunil ji. आप जैसे आदमियों की बहुत जरूरत है आज के दिन में. Well, कहते हैं ना that a beautiful woman is a beautiful woman, but a beautiful woman with brains is a lethal combination. And हम तो lethal combination में ही believe करते हैं. We don't quite believe in just showcasing anybody and everybody, right? तो अगर मैं आपको एक छोटी सी glimpse दूं एक ऐसे इंसान की जो कि एक्टर हैं, जो कि फिजिशियन हैं, जो कि फैशन मॉडल हैं, who's a medical doctor, who's a psychologist, who's a gynecologist and an obstetrician, बड़ा ही मुश्किल, बड़ी देर से प्रैक्टिस कर रही थी, who's a counselor, and of course somebody who is out there in the corporate world as a coach, a health and wellness expert. नहीं, मेरे पास बहुत सारे गेस्ट नहीं है आज के दिन में. I've got just one guest. And that one guest is actually encompassing each one of these things that I'm talking about. I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, a very special guest this evening who is called as Dr. Aditi Govitrikar. मैं बिल्कुल उनको यहाँ पर लेकर आऊंगी, and I want you to just lay back and think, what are we going to be talking about this evening? A lot more that a woman is. Not just the face, but the mind and the personality behind it.
Imagine a gender-equal world.
A world free of bias, stereotypes and discrimination.
A world that is diverse, equitable and inclusive.
A world where difference is valued and celebrated.
Together, we can forge women's equality.
Collectively, we can all #break the bias.
Let's break the bias. This International Women's Day and more.
Dr. Aditi, बहुत स्वागत है आपका. A warm welcome to Masti Media Network. and of course a very very warm welcome on this very special day. आपको भी बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं इंटरनेशनल वुमेन्स डे की. क्या कहना चाहेंगी?
फर्स्टली थैंक यू सो मच रेणुका, मुझे आपने इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे बुलाया और इतनी बड़ी तारीफ की. सॉरी, I just have to admit that yes, I'm a medical doctor, but I did start with gynac, but I didn't finish it. So I did not finish. I'm not a gynecologist or obstetrician. I just wanted to make that clear. However, yes, I am a wellness expert. I am a corporate coach and a psychologist, and that's what I practice right now. I love what you said about the Women's Day. So here's wishing all you beautiful women out there and men a very happy Women's Day.
Awesome! भाई आपके आते ही सबसे पहले मुझे एक बात याद आ गई, which I really really am desperate to play here. ठीक है, देखते हैं आपको याद है या आप ये वाला बात भूल गए अपनी लाइफ की.
I can never forget this song. Oh my God, it's one of my favorite songs ever.
It is, and you know what? I just want to play a little bit of that before we start talking. And I want to see you blush, so I'm going to go away.
Oh my God, that was awesome. Thank you for playing that song for me.
You're most welcome any day. And that's हाँ जी बिल्कुल, अदनान सामी and आशा भोसले, and you were the album girl. मैं उससे शुरू नहीं करना चाहती हूँ, but this is a part of my questions that I'm going to be throwing at you, and I'm sure you're very good at multitasking, जो कि पता लग रहा है आपकी profile से. I'm sure you can catch many questions. So Aditi, if I may address you that way, मुझे ये बताइए कि you were born in this family where seems like professional होना एक लड़की के लिए या किसी भी बच्चे के लिए is very very important. I see that in you, I see that in your sister, right? So ये सारा टेढ़ा मेढ़ा दिमाग कैसे चल पड़ा आपका?
So it's all thanks to my mom, जिन्हें हमें आई कहते हैं. तो आई is Marathi word for mother. So she was very keen that both the girls, I have a brother as well. We studied, we do something on our own. We are financially independent. तो ये उनके लिए बहुत महत्व रखता था. And she used to instill that in us that, you know what, you got to study, you got to stand on your 2 feet so that you're not dependent on anybody, be it financially or otherwise. So I think it's all thanks to her, and I wish her a happy Women's Day as well. To all the mothers out there.
Of course, the women, the wives, the mothers, the sisters, I tell you, amazing. The way your journey has been, I was very impressed. I said, first आपने बोला कि ठीक है, मैं अपने घर में जो requirement है, and the guidance that's been given to you, let me just satisfy that, and then I'll focus on my own passion, probably, if I may call it that way. So when did you realize that you have a passion for, a fashion or a different career altogether?
Well, actually, I have to confess that I did not. मतलब मैं जब छोटी थी तो बचपन से ही मुझे डॉक्टर बनना था. अच्छा, बहुत शौक था मुझे. I always used to get intrigued कि हमारी बॉडी कैसे काम करती है. ये umbilicus मतलब जो नाभि है वो क्यों है. So, those kind of questions I would think about them when I was in first and second standard. और मैं पूछती थी लोगों से, कभी अच्छे सवाल कभी satisfy होती थी, कभी नहीं होती थी. Then I used to find, but of course तभी हमारे पास Google नहीं था. तो I am a voracious reader, तो मैं बहुत पढ़ती भी थी, बुक्स पढ़ के काफी सारा नॉलेज कलेक्ट करती थी. लेकिन हाँ, मुझे वो इंट्रिग था. तो फैशन मॉडल बनना या एक्टर बनना ये मेरे जहन में बिल्कुल ही नहीं था. लेकिन हाउ इट केम अबाउट इज दैट मुझे चैलेंजेस बहुत पसंद है, बहुत ज्यादा पसंद है. मुझे कोई बता दे कि अरे तुम ये कर ही नहीं पाओगी, तो देन आई विल ट्राई माय बेस्ट टू give it my all and try and do whatever is the challenge. Not that anybody put this challenge across to me, but it was like, oh my god, what is this field? मुझे तो इसके बारे में कुछ पता भी नहीं है, क्योंकि तभी तो हम एप्रन पहन के स्टेथोस्कोप लगा के we used to go and treat the patients in the ward, study. I was a medical student that time.
Right.
तभी एक ग्लैड्रैग्स सुपरमॉडल कॉन्टेस्ट हुआ करता था, जिसका होर्डिंग हमने देखा, मैं और मेरी फ्रेंड्स ने. तो मेरे फ्रेंड्स ने मेरे फोटोग्राफ्स भेज दिए ऐसे ही. एंड आई सेड, अच्छा ये क्या है, मेरे पास हील्स नहीं है, लिपस्टिक नहीं है, मेकअप नहीं है, मुझे कुछ पता भी नहीं है कि कैसे क्या करना है. सो आई सेड, चलो देखते जाके क्या होता है वहां पे. And then I went there and, we had a grooming for 4 days, and I got typhoid on the day of the pageant. So I said, okay, fine, chalo. I like to win. I play to win, right? I don't like to lose. So I said, even if I have typhoid, I'm not going to not go on stage because मैंने 4-5 दिन मेहनत की है. In the hostel passage, I used to wear heels क्योंकि बहुत unsteady था मेरा जो था posture जो था. I was not used to it. और उसे थोड़ी practice लगती है. So I said, since I have worked on this, let me just participate, देखते क्या होता है. And then of course I won it, and next day onwards a lot of ad films, offers, film offers, etc. started coming. Just the next day they started coming. So I was still studying. तो मैंने सोचा कि अरे ये क्या है, what is this, it's fun, sounds like fun, करते हैं थोड़े टाइम के लिए करके देखते हैं. तो I was managing both. Oh, then I got MD Gynac सीट मुझे मिल गई. लेकिन उस टाइम बहुत मुश्किल होने लगा क्योंकि to manage the ward work, you have to deliver babies, post op जो काम होता है वो सब as a houseman करना पड़ता है. And then my seniors, my boss, Dr. Rekha Dabar, she was very kind. She said, you go ahead and do it. We will support you as much. But at one point I felt it's not fair to my seniors who are doing my work. I mean, they've already done it. तो मैंने सोचा कि चलो 1 साल के लिए मैं ब्रेक लेती हूँ. 1 साल के लिए मॉडलिंग क्या है, एक्टिंग क्या है देखते. Then I'll come back to Gynac. But वो अभी तक मैं यहीं पे. And then 6-7 years back, I said कि अभी मुझे कुछ intellectual stimulation चाहिए था because learning, studying is my number one love. It's my passion. That is my passion, to study. तो मेरे बच्चे मेरी टांग भी खींचते कि they say that why are you giving your exams? You give our exams, ना? They like क्यों आप enroll करते रहती हो? जैसे मैं second masters कर रही हूँ Harvard University USA से psychology. So 6-7 years back, I went back to saying that, okay, I know human body now. Let me study about human mind. तो मुझे कैसे, क्योंकि I have so many people, we all do, right, in our fields. So I always used to get intrigued. और मैंने Big Boss में especially जब 77 days में अंदर थी out of 84, तो तब ये psychology में जो जिज्ञासा थी मेरी वो बहुत ज्यादा जाग गई थी. I said I have to study human mind. Why does the same event cause different reactions for different people in different people, right? तो मैंने 6-7 साल पहले पढ़ाई शुरू की. I finished my masters in psychology. I did my post graduation in counseling, and I'm doing my second masters, as I said. But I practice as well, and I also completed my ICF coaching accreditation, which is the world-renowned coaching federation of for corporate coaches. So वो भी मैंने course complete कर दिया. So इस तरीके से रही है.
So I would say that once a doctor or once someone who's really interested into academics and a lot more, शायद वो वाला एक जीन होता है, एक DNA में कहीं ना कहीं होता है कि नहीं वो stimulate होना ही चाहिए. It should really go on and on because it keeps your intellect really up and active. But at the same time, आपने कहीं पर ये भी कहा है, and that has really been in me, कि you want to have that passion and create something meaningful, as you say, and bigger than yourself. ऐसा आपकी website पे लिखा है. To be really, you want to add value to people that you meet, right? And I think that's really amazing. तो किस तरह से, because you've been in so many areas, आपको क्या लगता है कि आज के दिन में have you been able to add value to the lives of people who you've come across, and in what way?
Yeah, so I have been very fortunate, and I'm grateful that I have been able to, because I live by that mantra. Because at one point, we all go through existential crisis. Okay, what is my role on this planet? Why am I here? And when I asked myself that question, and I did a lot of introspection, because I also am a Vipassana follower. I have been doing Vipassana meditation for the last 13 years. And वहाँ पे जाती हूँ 10 दिन के लिए, तो काफी समय भी मिलता है, not only to meditate, but you go within and you start asking these kind of questions. So 3 words that emerged for me were transform, empower, and elevate. So my mantra is that no matter who I come in touch with, अगर मैं उबर लेती हूँ या there is a new makeup artist और उनके assistant है जो मेरा makeup कर रहे हैं, तो no matter who I come in contact with, they, after interacting with me, they have to be elevated, empowered, and transformed in some form or the other. So ये इस मंत्रा से अगर मैं जीती हूँ, so I make it a habit that okay, जो भी है, if it is my client, because I do personal counseling sessions as well, I have also started 21-day transformation program. All the sessions are conducted by me personally, and people have benefited a lot from it. So that was one part of it. The second part of it was that in COVID situation, we have a marginalized community, which is transgender community, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done, especially in India. बहुत ज़्यादा उनको तकलीफ होती है, और कोविड के टाइम पे तो मतलब when I used to counsel them, I'm like, oh my god, it was so painful to listen to their stories. So SR नाम की जो कॉर्पोरेट कंपनी है उनके साथ में मिलके हमने ट्रांसजेंडर के लिए काफ़ी काम किया। तो वहाँ पे भी मैंने ये मंत्र अप्लाई किया, जो काउंसलिंग है या माय लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसेस टू कम आउट ऑफ व्हाटएवर सिचुएशन यू आर इन व्हाटएवर नेगेटिव थॉट पैटर्न जो क्रिएट हो जाता है कई सारी चीज़ों की वजह से, तो उसमें से उनको बाहर लाना, ये काम मैंने किया था।
I think that's a wonderful and a beautiful thought, because हमारी existence जो होती है उसमें अगर हम किसी दूसरे की life में एक छोटा सा भी difference ला सकते हैं, if we can just bring a smile on somebody's face even for a few moments, I think we've really done our bit, and the satisfaction we get out of it is just amazing. So thank you for doing that and spreading that beautiful thought. Of course our people are appreciating that as well. एक और बात मुझे आपसे ही पूछनी थी Aditi, and if it is not something which is too personal to you, somewhere I read that you went through a personal trauma which was excruciating as you defined it. तो उस टाइम तो आपका भी एक जर्नी चल रही थी, and you were not in control of your own mental well-being, as I understand, right? So how did you get out of that? Because many people go through tough times and not everybody is able to come out successful, right? So what were your thoughts, if you would share with our audience?
Sure, of course. But firstly, I would like to thank everybody for the beautiful comments. Dolly ji, Kirti, thank you so much, all of you, for joining us and giving these wonderful comments and compliments. I am really grateful. Well, I think each and every human being goes through ups and downs. वो जो up and down रहता है वो किसी के life में बहुत up और बहुत down होता है. Yeah, it's a little bit of. लेकिन I till date, Renuka, I've not met anybody who can say that I've not gone through any downs. So I don't consider myself to be somebody who is, oh my God, she's gone through so much. I mean, yes, I have. I'm not taking away the pain or the trauma that I went through. And also what happens is, जब हम किसी चीज से गुजर रहे होते हैं, for us at that time, that is the biggest difficulty that one goes through. So it can be small or big for the other person, but for you, it is the biggest a painful thing that you're going through. Similarly, when I went through it, and when it rains, it pours, right? तो एक ही नहीं, 3-4 चीजें चल रही थी मेरे लाइफ में जो बहुत ही डार्क थी. To an extent where I used to not sleep at all. I had become an insomniac. मैं सोती थी तो मतलब नींद आती थी तो I used to wake up with a startle like that, and पूरा मेरा neck gila hota tha. The pillow used to be wet because I used to be sweating so much, cold sweat. So these kind of things happened to me, and at some point I'm like, why am I even here? I mean, what's the point of my existence? Then of course I had my children. I had my son was only a year old that time, and I used to look at him and like, no, I mean, I'm here because and then I used to say that it's okay, they will be looked after, my sister will look after. So those kind of negative thoughts also I had to encounter. At one point, I said that, you know what, Aditi, enough is enough. I cannot be looking at my life like this. Let me see. This is the darkest, this is the deepest, the lowest I can go to. Let me come out of it now. Let me start taking steps to see how I can come out of it. And that's when, the minute I changed my thinking pattern, the story that I was telling myself that, oh, I am so unfortunate. Why me? Why is it happening? So when I asked that question and I thought about it, I'm like, have I ever, or this is a question to all of you who are on this platform, when good things happen to us, do we ask, why me? So why do we ask that when something negative is happening? So when I thought about that, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so grateful for everything I had. So similarly, this downtime that I have, or turn in my life that's happened, it's okay. I need to be grateful for it because it's a learning lesson for me. Now let me see what I can learn from this. And that's when I transformed, I changed myself. I pulled myself out of it to reach where I am today.
Wonderful. So what you've rightly said is that, of course, we have to stop self-pity, right? Because self-pity, अगर हम करते रहेंगे, So then we are never going to be we're never going to be able to come out of our situation. Absolutely. And many times we just say, why
I think
me?
karo. Self-pity bhi karo. Go
Haan,
through that phase. Don't
haan,
say that, oh my God. I'm not saying don't have self. कभी कभी अच्छा भी है. कर लो, रो लो. You
haan.
know, झगड़ा करो किसी के साथ. जो भी tantrum throw करना है करो. लेकिन at some point get to out. You have to come out of it. कहना चाहिए कि बस हो गया. अभी self pity हो गया. Pity party, as I call it. It's a pity party. Go through do the pity and enjoy the pity party. You know, रोना है जो भी करना है करो. But at
हाँ,
some point the party has to end.
हाँ, बिल्कुल. And then you have to move on कि भैया अब हो गया बहुत कुछ. Now it's time for me to move on and prove the world कि भाई
Yeah.
this is a phase and that too shall pass. I think that's a wonderful, very inspiring thought indeed. मैं आपसे of course यहाँ पर एक सवाल है. You're a brave girl, still in this world, difficult for some ladies to come up. Very well said, Dolly. Very well said. It is very difficult for some ladies to still come up. यहाँ पर एक सवाल from Ruchika that out of the multiple hats that you wear and the roles that you play, what career path or role do you cherish the most? That's a tough one, huh?
So Ruchika, thank you for the question, and I have thought about it, and I feel that it's like five fingers, right? I mean, all five. I'm just taking five, but they may be more or less. All of them are very important to me. But if I take the thumb, which is by far the most important finger of our hand, because we human beings only human beings have this action, right? It's called the opposing action of the thumb. So if I take my thumb and if I do this action, then it's my children. And playing a role as a mother, that's by far the most fulfilling job, career, path, whatever you want to call it. I would say that.
Wonderful. So, Aditi, I would ask you one question. A lot of people question the very existence and the hoo-ha, as they say, around the existence of International Women's Day. कहने के लिए हम लोग ऐसा बोल देते हैं कि every day is a Women's Day, right? लेकिन क्यों? Why do you think? I'm sure you believe in the existence of this day as well. So, if I may just ask you, why do we need to celebrate a Women's Day? Isn't it a normal existence to be a man or a woman? You know, if we are born equal, आगे जाकर हम लोग disparity कर देते हैं, तो why celebrate women? What's the special message around it?
Right. So to that, I would say that I personally love celebrations. So Diwali ho, Holi ho, Ganpati Bappa Moria ho, I love celebrating because हमारे पास जो दिन है उसमें we are so busy with life. ये करना है, वो करना है, भागदौड़ करनी है, तो उसमें सेलिब्रेट करने का मौका नहीं मिलता. सो नाउ वैलेंटाइंस डे है, हम कॉलेज में थे तो रोज डे रहता था, सारी डे रहता था, मुझे बहुत मजा आता था. आई यूज्ड टू सेलिब्रेट ऑल द डेज. So that's why my question is why not, you know. Now on a more serious note, I think when we talk about men and women being equal, I really mean that they should be equal. And I don't mean in terms of your biology, in terms of your strength, capabilities or capacity. I'm not saying that. However, each human being should be given a chance, opportunity, and freedom to express himself or herself so that the person can they can really maximize their potential. So I don't believe that men and women are equal, so it should be equality in that sense. However, this thought that we are all human beings, and that is what the most crucial thing. So yes, I mean there is a man's day and there's a woman's day, and we should celebrate both because एक के बिना दूसरा तो हो ही नहीं सकता है ना. We are all like together in this world,
right?
And together we can do so much more. So in fact, today I had something, and there one of the males said that we must allow the women to flourish and we must give them equal opportunity. So the thought that came to my mind is, who's this we? Why are we giving women opportunity? I mean, the planet belongs to all of us equally. So you know what? Don't give us opportunities. We are there, and just treat everybody in a same manner. And that's why I thought about the transgender topic as well. You know, that's very, very important that we should all treat human beings as equals. We should all look at animals also, because you know, you honk when you see a cow or a buffalo on the road. Why? It is not our road. It belongs to the cow and the buffalo as well. We are honking at the poor animal. That animal is terrified, right? It's so unfair. But well, that's life, I guess. So I try to do as much as I can.
Yes, and I'm aware of your initiative, that is PETA, the initiative that you've launched in India as well. So that's a
Yes.
wonderful thing. So I'll just, I know that we are now reaching towards the end of this conversation, Aditi. So I just want to ask you this the question that is right up there on the screen, which says, um, is it still a man's world? And why I say still a man's world, because in the I wouldn't say the good old days, but in the olden days, it was always a masculine society, as it was referred, specifically from the country that you and I belong. We've seen it in that sense, a world which was dominated by men, or there is discrimination against women. So we talk about inclusivity, we talk about leadership, we talk about a lot more. Lekin kya aaj ke din mein, is it still a man's world, or would you say that things have changed?
I would agree to say that it is still a patriarchal society.
Mm.
However, of course, things have changed and are changing very rapidly. So I'm not saying that, oh, this is it and it's a full stop. I would say it is still a man's world, dot, 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 क्योंकि अभी picture बाकी है. So things are evolving as we speak, which is great. The day itself, I mean, there are there's so much of awareness which is happening right now in terms of giving equal opportunities to both the people. And I say this to all mothers. I mean, we as mothers have this responsibility to make sure that if you have a son, to inculcate the respect that inherently should be there in his mind for all the women around him. As he grows up, I think that can definitely then bring about the change. So it's not only the women who need to change or the men, but mothers also need to take that responsibility on themselves so that this bias keeps, we break the bias really in that sense. So, and it's still a man's world because if you take the statistics, whether it is the corporate world or whether it is any other field, pretty much most of the fields are dominated by men still. Luckily for me, when I used to do ramp modeling, we ruled. So it used to be 10 girls and 2 boys, or 15 girls and 3 boys. So that was a different story. But everywhere else, I mean, I do corporate coaching, and in that I see that most of the leaders, most of the top management, there are very few women there. And I did some work with another corporate as well, where we spoke about Wellspun. Wellspun was the name of the corporate.
Right.
They launched women of Wow. They launched Wow, which was to bring about, to enable women to kind of step up the corporate ladder.
So absolutely, you are very right, and I was hoping that somebody today or tomorrow on my show would come and say, no, it's now an equal world. I don't think making it a woman's world is what we want, because it's not about, again, twisting it on another side. It is about equal rights. It's about mutual respect, and it's more to do with that, bringing at the same level rather than anything else. लेकिन you are right, कोशिश जारी है, और कहते हैं कि 108 साल लगेंगे, according to research, to really bring women at the same level as men. But on that note, Aditi, you've done so much, and I want to thank you yet again for being on our platform this evening with your very, very precious time. I know you've had a busy day, and you will continue to have today, but thank you so much. And at the same time, you are doing a wonderful job out there. I read about you and I hear about you, and it's definitely an honor to have you here. So thank you very much. Together we can break the bias, as they say.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Renuka, for inviting me. It was truly an honor, and thank you all of you who've joined us in this conversation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Imagine a gender equal world.
A world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination.
A world that is diverse, equitable, and inclusive.
A world where difference is valued and celebrated.
Together, we can forge women's equality.
Collectively, we can all #break the bias.
Let's break the bias. This International Women's Day and more.
All right. Thank you, Pushpaji. Yes, indeed, that was a short and a sweet conversation, as I call it. दुख की बात सिर्फ इतनी है कि जहां हम हर साल मनाते चले जाते हैं इंटरनेशनल वुमेन्स डे, वहीं पर कुछ कुछ ऐसी चीजें हैं जो आज के दिन में भी एग्जिस्टिंग हैं, और लग रहा है, as per the numbers, that 108 years, as I said, the surveys say it will take for us to make women's position the same as men. Inequality in pay, women rights and opportunities for sure consistently neglect होती हैं and they are under threat. Leadership positions पर आप जाके देखिए, चाहे वो political positions पर हो या फिर at the same time it is at leadership positions in corporate boardrooms, या फिर violence against women के numbers देखे जाएं, percentage of women entrepreneurs, women security, health. In fact, आपको बहुत ज्यादा शॉक पहुंचेगा ये सोच के कि globally 12 million girls they become child brides every day. जी हाँ, every day. And that is 33,000 girls every day. Yes. And when I say globally 12 million, I mean per year. So yeah, these are things that of course we still have to question. अगर आप रूरल पार्ट्स ऑफ अफ्रीका में जाएं तो देयर आर 40 बिलियन आवर्स अ ईयर दैट वुमेन स्पेंड ऑन कलेक्टिंग वाटर. ये सारी की सारी चीजें डिस्पैरिटी ही तो लाती हैं. लेकिन एक बात जस्ट बिफोर आई एंड टुडेज शो is that you don't have to play masculine to be a strong woman. A strong woman is somebody who believes that she can and then she does. It is not about competing with men. It is not about feminism. It is about equality. तो बस इसी इक्वालिटी के साथ लेट्स मेक श्योर दैट वी ब्रेक द बायस. अपने घर से शुरुआत करेंगे तो सबसे बेहतरीन होगा, क्योंकि वहीं पर, जैसे डॉक्टर अदिति ने कहा, वहीं पर शुरुआत होती है एक चेंज की. And that's the change that we need to bring in our homes and therefore across the world, slowly and steadily. With that, wishing you all, men and women alike, a very happy International Women's Day. Have a fantastic rest of the evening, guys. मैं आपको मिलूंगी कल शाम एक और खास conversation के साथ, which is going to be featuring 3 extremely strong women as well, apart from myself. तो बिल्कुल आइएगा शाम के 6 बजे. That will be another episode of Break the Bias. Have a good evening. Bye. We are live on Masti AVI right now. हमारा चल रहा है cooking show which is called Cooking Comes Alive, the only show of its kind across Southeast Asia, जहाँ पर रेडियो स्टूडियो से लाइव हम किचन के अंदर घुसते हैं और लाइव खाना बनाते हैं.
पहले अगर आपका स्वागत करता हूँ सिंगापुर रेडियो मस्ती 24/7 लाइव की वो महफिल जिसे आप थ्रोबैक थर्सडे कहते हैं.
रेडियो मस्ती 24/7 पर आप हमें दिल की आंखों से देखते हैं, लेकिन मस्ती एवीआई पर हम भी आपको देखते हैं और छेड़ते हैं. Best of audio and visual entertainment, games, star interviews, contests, full on Masti. Masti AVI.
Masti AVI.
Masti AVI. Masti AVI.